Hi guys, it's Cynthia from the Red Fairy Project. I hope you're doing well. So this week we are going grocery shopping together and I'm sharing my favorite healthy foods with you. So before we get started, make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you're on YouTube. If you're on redfairyproject.com, make sure that you sign up to the weekly newsletter so you get these videos delivered straight to your inbox. So I've been sharing a ton of all my favorites on Instagram and on Snapchat at Red Fairy Project, and I figured I would just share in a video some of my favorite foods with you, whether it's snacks, something that I use in my wonderful smoothie breakfast bowls, or anything else. And obviously the list can be extremely long, but I'm just going to stick to kind of my top favorites. And I guess the intention behind this is for you guys to maybe incorporate some of these foods gradually into your diet and see if you like it and see if it makes you feel healthier, and just maybe gradually transitioning certain of your meals to something a little bit healthier. So let's get started. I have to start with this product, which I've shown several times on Instagram and Snapchat. So it's a vegan protein powder. It's by Manitoba Harvest. I will include all the links to all these products below this video, so don't worry about taking any notes or anything like that. So Manitoba Harvest, obviously by the name, it's a Canadian brand, and I wouldn't label myself necessarily as vegan or vegetarian, but I do have to say I really don't eat a lot of animal products. It's partly by principle, partly because certain products just don't agree with me, like lactose. I don't really digest well. Any kind of meat, like I really don't eat meat. That's very, very rare. Even fish I eat from time to time, but really when it comes to like, yeah, meat, chicken, I really don't eat a lot. So anyways, all that to say that I do need protein coming from other sources, and contrary to popular belief, you can have a high protein, healthy, well-balanced diet with plant-based meals only. Now, you really have to do your research. You have to be informed. You have to make sure that you're not lacking certain nutrients if you start to go more the vegetarian or vegan way. And I have to admit that at first I made certain choices. I didn't really know if I was lacking something, and I did some blood tests, and at one point I didn't have enough iron, and at another point I didn't have enough protein. So I would definitely encourage you to make sure to look up online how much protein you need in a day. So if you're a woman of a certain age, if you're, moderately active, all those criteria will determine how much protein you need. And you look it up once, and then you know how much you need in a day. And so when you're making up a meal, let's say a breakfast, well, you kind of look on the labels. And at first it does require a little bit more effort, but you want to make sure that you're fueling your body with what it needs to keep you healthy. So if you are modifying your diet, make sure that the choices that you make, that the maybe substitutes that you start making, still keep your balance, your diet really well balanced. So coming back to this protein powder, there are a lot of really gross protein powders out there, and I've tried a lot. And this one is the only one that I've tried that when you add it to like a smoothie, for example, does not have a bit of a chalky taste or a chalky texture. There's another protein powder that I really like that's a vegan protein powder as well, but the taste is good, but the texture is still a little bit chalky. This one does not have that at all, and it's hemp based, so I'm wondering if maybe that's the reason why the texture is just kind of more pleasant. So this one is the vanilla flavor. They have at least 2 or 3 other flavors for this protein powder. I haven't tried them. I just really like this one. I think they have one that's like kind of no flavor or regular. They have one that's chocolate, vanilla, and I think that's it. So you can buy this online. You can buy this in different health stores. I actually buy it at my favorite vegan restaurant in Montreal. But yeah, if you want to just make it easy for yourself, you can just buy it like on Amazon, and I'll include the link. So this is amazing. I put this in my smoothie every morning, so that way I make sure that I start my day with enough protein, and it's filled with a bunch of other stuff, so it's really, really healthy. And you just pile on frozen organic fruit and some almond milk, some almond butter, and it's really, really good. So I love this. Then, since we're talking about breakfasts, I have only oats, gluten-free, quick oat flakes. So I'll leave the link below. Once again, I've seen this available on Amazon. So I am not gluten intolerant, but I definitely, sorry if this is like too much information, but I do get bloated if I eat gluten, and I just like, it irritates my system. I don't digest it well. And so I really try to avoid it as much as possible. I've also, you know, we read a ton of stuff about gluten now. It's very inflammatory for your system. So you might not be gluten intolerant, but in general, it doesn't do a lot of good to your system. So that's maybe one thing that you want to look at in your diet and see how much gluten do you intake on a regular basis, because it really does cause inflammation and irritation in the system. And over time, with years and years and years, if you keep kind of bombarding your body and your digestive system with that, it's not good, and it can lead to different consequences. So just little things. I mean, something as simple as soy sauce has gluten in it, believe it or not. So it sneaks into a lot of different things, and sometimes it's just, yeah, foods that we would not suspect have gluten, and they do. And then there's others, obviously, like breads and pasta and cereal, that it's pretty obvious that they have gluten. So anyways, these oats, quick oat flakes, so you basically just, you know, you put some in a bowl and you add, I think here they say to add water, but I find that kind of boring. So I add almond milk, of course. So I go usually with unsweetened almond milk, and I usually go for the vanilla. So it has a bit of flavor, but it doesn't have a ton of sugar. So once again, if you're going to go for almond milk, the healthier choice would be to go with the unsweetened one, but vanilla has some taste. So I love having these more on the weekend. During the week, I tend to go for a really fast kind of smoothie in the morning, but on the weekend, I love having the oats here with, I add a little bit of maple syrup, a little bit of almond butter, some fruit, maybe like half a banana, some nuts, all sorts of other stuff that are actually in my grocery bag here that I'll show you. But I mean, you can just pile on whatever you want, and it's fun. It's a fun process, just kind of tossing it in there and creating a masterpiece. So only oats, gluten-free, quick oat flakes. Love them. Let's continue with the breakfast. So I was talking about all the kind of toppings that you can put on a yummy breakfast bowl like that. Chia seeds, so it's not just for the aesthetic, although it does make a really nice picture. Chia seeds have a lot of omega-3s, and they're rich in fiber, and they're a great source of calcium as well. So chia seeds, you can just either put them on your, let's say on your breakfast bowl, you can sprinkle them on the salad. It's a great way just to add something really nutritious to your meal really easily. You can make chia pudding as well. So that's taking, I think it's 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, pouring some milk, so whether it's soy milk or almond milk, maybe regular milk too, I guess. I go for the unsweetened vanilla almond milk, and you soak them, you mix them well, you stir them well into the milk, and you soak it overnight, and in the morning it has a consistency of like a thick pudding. So you can put that in your smoothie if you want to create a nice thick smoothie, maybe instead of a banana, for example. You can have it just on its own, although I find that's a little bit bland. At least add like maybe like some cinnamon or a little bit of maple syrup or something like that. And sometimes I just kind of add it on top of my my oatmeal in the morning. So there's a lot of fun stuff that you can do with chia seeds, and they are really, really good for you. So this brand is Prana, which is a Quebec brand, but there are a ton of brands of chia seeds. These ones are actually black ones, but I also have white ones. I mean, I think the taste is pretty much the same. And yeah, I would recommend going for organic if you can. Once again, you don't want to have any pesticides or nasty stuff if you're trying to be really careful with what you're putting into your body. So, yummy chia seeds. What else do we have? Okay, I know this is very unoriginal. Coconut oil. So I could do probably a whole video on coconut oil. Maybe I will, who knows? Although, I mean, there's a ton of videos already out there about all the benefits of coconut oil. But what I do for my food is sometimes instead of using maybe almond oil, what am I saying? Olive oil, not almond. You can have almond oil as well, but olive oil. You can just use a bit of coconut oil to maybe saute something, or even like on your toast. Where I put it normally for my meals, I like adding it just a scoop in my smoothies because it's full of healthy fats, and healthy fats are really important to feel full after a meal. So I'm totally against depriving yourself. I love eating good foods. I hate feeling hungry, and I have a big appetite. So when I eat a meal, I want it to be healthy, but I also want to feel nice and full and satisfied after. So a nice scoop of coconut, very healthy, and yeah, it makes you feel satisfied after your meal. So this is a brand that I just bought in store. I'll leave a link to maybe another brand because this I just bought locally here, but once again, you can buy it online. And I think it's worth like getting big formats for all of these things, because in the end, if you're like me, you'll use a ton of it, so it's better. It might seem a little bit pricier at first, but in the end, you're going to save money getting the bigger formats. So coconut oil, and then other than in meals, I'm sure you've heard about all the amazing benefits of just using it like as a skin moisturizer, doing oil pulling, which I don't know if you've heard about that, but I've tried that was interesting. You can look that one up. Anyways, it has amazing benefits. Okay, another food. So snacks for me are so important. More particularly healthy snacks, of course. One thing that I've noticed, and this actually happened to me yesterday, is if I don't snack, if I don't have a healthy snack between my meals, I get hungry. Like I can't go like 3 hours without eating anything. So what happens is if I wait too long to eat when I'm hungry, and I think this is probably common with many people, I tend to make bad choices once I'm hungry. And that happened to me yesterday, where I went to the hair salon and then I ran some errands, and I basically ate my lunch at 3 o'clock, and this is between you and I, so don't tell anybody, but I had a poutine. Anyways, and if you don't know what a poutine is, that's because you don't live in Quebec probably, and no judgment, but you haven't lived until you've had a poutine. It's so bad, but it's so good. It's basically French fries, a brown gravy sauce, and cheese curds. I know it might sound gross, but it's so good. However, not all poutines are equal, and the one I had yesterday was actually really disappointing. I have it at like a mall because I was shopping and it wasn't even good. So I was really sad. I was like, all those calories and not even for like something satisfying. But you see, I made that choice because I was so hungry and I was like, oh, it looks so good, I should try it. So, and I'm all about treating yourself from time to time, obviously, but it's all about balance. And you want to make, when you decide to treat yourself, you really want it to be kind of a thought out decision. And when you're hangry, you're just going to go for like the first thing that looks, delicious. So all that to say, nuts, really, really good snack to have on hand. What I do is, rather than carrying the full bag like this, I'll have a small Ziploc bag. They have like really kind of small one, like mini bags, and I'll just fill it up with like, I don't know, maybe 10 nuts, or depending on what it is. These are Brazil nuts. I really like Brazil nuts. I really love almonds, and just have them on hand in your bag. So it just takes up a little corner of your bag, and it can really save the day if you're somewhere, you're really hungry, just to keep you going until you can actually have like a proper meal, and it will save you from making some decisions that you will regret, like what happened to me yesterday. So, and if you can, try to go organic. Once again, healthier options. Doesn't mean you have to go organic with everything, but if you can, if maybe you see something that's on sale, it can be worth it. So these are once again the same brand as the Chia Seeds. It's Prana, so it's a Quebec brand. I believe I saw them on Amazon. So if I don't have the Prana brand, I will link another brand for you for delicious Brazil nuts. And nuts are so healthy for you. Yes, they have fats, but it's healthy fats. So very good, very filling. My last item here is actually not something that you would eat in a meal per se, but it's like the superhero of foods. Like if I could like attach a little cape to it, like I would. It's apple cider vinegar, and it's, sorry, let me rephrase that, unfiltered, unpasteurized, organic apple cider vinegar. And you'll read about apple cider vinegar online, and sometimes people just write ACV. And I heard about this a lot because I read all sorts of articles, like health-related articles, and I heard a lot about apple cider vinegar and the health benefits And I was feeling like I had a cold coming on when I just started a huge contract earlier in the fall, and I was like, I cannot be sick right now, so it's the time to try this apple cider vinegar. So I did a mix of like a cup of water, like hot lukewarm water. I think it was two tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and like I think half a lemon or full lemon. Anyways, it basically has a lot of like antibacterial properties. And once again, I won't go through this in this video, but if you like just type in apple cider vinegar online, you'll find a bunch of articles of all its health benefits. And one of them, I had a sore throat in particular at that time, and it's really good. Like they were saying to gargle with the apple cider vinegar. So I was doing that, plus I was taking that like magical potion to really just kind of kill the virus that I had in my body. And within a couple of days, the virus was gone. I was feeling 100%. And then everybody around me started getting sick, and I was afraid that maybe it would come back. But I kept drinking this on a regular basis, and I swear to you, it really helped boost my immune system. So just as an FYI, it tastes rather nasty. So don't think it's like, oh, it kind of looks like apple juice, I'm just gonna like take a big gulp. Not a good idea. So it's very kind of acidic, and it really doesn't taste that good. So, and I would actually, sometimes I would just like take, you know, a big sip, but after that it's like you want to like have a sip of something else. And one thing, just a small detail, I've read that don't when you drink this, actually if you have it in like a big cup of water with like maybe some lemon and stuff, if you can, drink it with a straw, because it can be very acidic for your the enamel on your teeth. So if you do that on a regular basis, it can be not that great for your teeth. So they do say, like, if you can, just drink it with a straw. So that's what I do. And yeah, so it's something, once again, that you can just add to your daily routine, maybe once a day or maybe a couple of times a week, whatever, especially maybe during cold season if you're feeling kind of more tired or run down. And there's just a lot of benefits. As you can see, like I buy them in huge bottles because I use a lot of it, so it becomes more economical. But yeah, so just, I'm going to say it again, just make really sure that you just don't buy regular apple cider vinegar, because they have like regular, like I guess cheaper versions of it, and like the health benefits aren't the same. So it's really unfiltered, unpasteurized, organic apple cider vinegar. So I highly recommend it, despite the taste. And one last little thing, which is not an actual item, but I just wanted to show you a mason jar. And this might sound kind of random, but I find that eating is really an experience in itself. It's a sensory experience, right? It's your taste, it's the smells, it's visual as well. And I find that you should really make a meal not just about like kind of shoving food in your mouth and getting it done, but really make it an enjoyable experience. Make it a conscious experience where you're fully there. You're not just like kind of eating and, I don't know, watching TV or whatever. Really enjoy it. And part of that experience for me is, you know, a beautiful plate or a nice jar. And I use this as an example because I'm smoothie obsessed. So every morning I have a smoothie. I share my recipes almost every day, actually, on Snapchat and or Instagram. If you don't follow me there, come check it out. Come follow me. I'd love to see you there. It's at Great Fairy Project. And yeah, little things like this. I mean, this cost me, I think, like $2, but little things like that, a nice little plate, maybe like a nice mug. I really believe in having a nice cup or glass for your water, which I've talked about in other posts, how drinking your recommended amount of water in a day is it's the base of your health. So if you're not doing that, really important. And I have to say, from a personal experience that I've gone through recently, somebody very, very close to me that I love very much has gone through some really intense health issues, and part of the reasons was because the person didn't drink enough water. And so it can have really bad repercussions. So water it's like a non-negotiable. So make sure that you hydrate a lot. So yeah, just add that to your repertoire of like little foods that you might start, you know, adding to your your daily meals and just gradually change your habits. It doesn't mean you have to go spend a ton of money. Just add on a few little new items here and there, and you'll see. Like, I love, like, my favorite meal of the day is breakfast, and it's such a fun experience. I really look forward to it. It's like a little joyful moment in my day, and yeah, I think that you can make that. You can add some health and happiness to your life in not only the foods you eat, but how you eat them, the experience that you make out of it. So that's my little extra tip, in addition to all these items that I highly recommend. So if you have any questions about any of the foods that I've mentioned here, or kind of anything else about maybe some changes that you want to make in your diet. So I'm not a nutritionist, but I've read up a lot about healthy eating in my life, and I've experienced different, different mistakes and different lessons learned and all that, and I'm happy to share. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Once again, remember to subscribe if you haven't yet. I put out new videos every week, and the newsletter is really the best way to stay in the loop when new content comes out, and I share new content every week. So thank you for watching. I love you very much, and I will see you soon. Bye guys.